Hello everybody, welcome to another series. This series called audio streaming series similar to Spotify. In this series we are gonna achieve this UI similar to this UI. Okay, so and this platform, it's a audio streaming platform. Let's say if we click on this series or this card, so you can see this UI. Okay, so let's say if you click on it, you can see you can listen to music.
Emotional maturity is doing hard things. 1,000.
And if you want to, let's say, you know, level up your speed, you can. Let's say I set up 1.5,
Times, not once, with motivation. Because the world doesn't care.
and if you want to reduce volume, you can.
How you feel. Rain, pain, setbacks, chaos. You still do what.
So you can like, you can save, you can comment, right? But unfortunately, a lot of comment is out there. So if you don't log in, you can't do anything, right? So yeah, and yeah, this is the UI. You can search anything, and this is the home page, and this is the library, and it's also like your profile. Okay, so you need to log in, otherwise you can see this message. So I think guys you understand what we are going to achieve. Okay, so let's start the project. So I already create a backend folder, okay, inside audio streaming, and first I'm gonna complete backend side, then front end side. Okay, so this project is all about MERN Stack, which means MongoDB and Express and MongoDB Express.js and Node.js, right? And yeah, so there are 4 things. And so first we are going to complete backend side, then front end side. So we also use Tailwind CSS and Redux Toolkit to manage the state. Okay, and so first of all we have to set up our project. So we have to set up the MongoDB. Okay, so let's go to MongoDB. So this is the MongoDB MongoDB Atlas website. You can search MongoDB Atlas, and then you have to just create your account, or if you have account, then just you have to log in. Okay, so I already did, and now you can see this type of interface. So you can see here I already create my project. So I'm gonna create new project. So I'm just clicking on new project. I don't know, it takes time. So let's say I have to put my audio streaming. Okay, yeah, and then yeah, just next, and then yeah, I don't want to invite. So yeah, create project. Yeah, now you have to create cluster. Let's create it. So yeah, your name is cluster 0. Okay, I said AWS. You can set Google Cloud or Azure, whatever you like. And then I have to complete create deployment. Okay, no, I want to use free version, right? So yeah, so first I have to select free version. Sorry for that. Yeah, then I have to, so this is a free version. You can get storage 512 MB, and yeah, share Now it's gonna work. It takes time. But we are using also Cloudinary because to store the image, so we are going to use Cloudinary. So let's set up the Cloudinary, okay? And this is the Cloudinary, website. You can search cloudinary.com, and then you have to also create. You have to create also your account. If you have account, then you have to log in. Okay, so I already did, and now three things the Cloudinary wants. Okay, and yeah, first is cloud name. So this is my cloud name. After creating your account, you can navigate this like home or this interface. So you have to select like your cloud name. You have to copy it, and then API key, and then API secret. Okay, and if you want to, you can create new generate API key, right? So it's up to you. Let's see. Cloudinary, man, why it's take time? Okay, so you can see after, yeah, let's create other thing. So we set up like Cloudinary and MongoDB. So you have to create .env file. Okay, inside you have to paste your things like MongoDB and then GW secret. Okay, and because we want to hash and all the things, that's why we have to use GW secret, and then Cloudinary cloud name you did, and then API key you did, and API secret you did. Okay, so I blur these things, but you can paste your own things, right? So this is the .env file, and I already download install all the initial things. So let me show you. So yeah, these things npm like first express, express not express JS, express, then nodemon, malter, mongoose, json web token, .env, course, and then cookie parser, cloudinary, and bcrypt.js. Okay, you can see, yeah, first nodemon, malter, mongoose, json web token, express, not express JS, express, and .env, course, cookie parser, cloudinary, and bcrypt.js. This is my backend like library. Okay, all the dependency, right? And yeah, and I use type because I'm gonna use like import. Okay, so if you want to use require, so you don't need to put here, but I'm gonna use a modern syntax called import. So that's why. And also start, I set up this way because I can run npm node, then the backend code automatically run. Okay, so I think, yeah. And now I already set up the basic things because to be honest guys, my typing is very slow. Okay, and I don't want to waste your time as well as my time, because time is very important. Okay, so I already set up the basic things, and what I can do, I'm gonna explain line by line. Okay, so first I'm gonna I will work with models. So we are using mongoose. So what mongoose does, mongoose allow you to create like object data modeling, which means a schema where you can set up your structure, your how you can extract data from users. Okay, because Mongoose is a library, is a library for MongoDB. Okay, so yeah, and that allows you to create a schema. So yeah, so we are going to use Mongoose. So you can see we already import, and so first let's work with user model. Okay, so as I told you, first we have to import Mongoose because this is the library, and then yeah, so inside this mongoose, it's a entire object, okay, entire object or entire library. So we have multiple things. So first, we are we are creating a function. Okay, so it's an instance. It's a mongoose.schema. Mongoose is a library, and this is the method. Inside, we have schema, we have model, we have connection, right? So this is the part of mongoose. So we create our object, okay, and then so what you can get from user. So first we want to make sure user provide username. So username, okay. So first of all, inside this backend, you have to provide two objects. First object where you can set up your structure, and the second object timestamp. So if you make it true, so once you create, MongoDB create a timestamp, and when you update, also create a timestamp, right? So yeah, that's why. And then username, okay, type is string, record true, unique true, trim true, minimum length 3, and then name required true, min length max length, okay. Then email, so type is string, required, yeah, true, and then trim true, unique, yes. So inside also I want to send a message to the user, okay. But if you don't put here this message, or if you put on a front end, so front end can handle, but I'm handling on both sides, front end, back end. So it's a more safety, okay. And then valid. This is just you can get from anywhere. So this is the validator, like what type of structure from user we can expect in email, right? So this is the email. This is the password. Type is string, required true, and minimum length 6. And then profile image. Type is string, default, uh, empty string. So yeah, when somebody provide, then we can assign here. And then gender, okay. Save audio, what save audio is, well, so this is the so your platform allows to users save their favorite music, okay. That's why. So inside, and we are put array, because one user maybe or might be they can save multiple music, or audio, right? That's all. And so it's a audio ID. So in this field we want to save audio, so that's how we are putting types. So it's a mongoose schema. So this is a library, and this is a method, and types and object ID. So and we are refer audio. So if you don't know how schema work, okay, so the schema can work this way. So if you want to refer other collection, okay, so this is the one collection. Inside user collection we have multiple document, right? This is the first document. Inside this document we have this type of field, save audios. Inside save audios we have other field called audio ID. So how we can interact with other collection, audio collection. So there is a called type and object ID, and then refer, we refer audio. So right now we are going to explain audio collection, okay, or audio schema, and default as a null. And then also we want to provide a time when a user save that document, or that music or audio, okay. Similarly, we have other field like audios. So if you like any video, or sorry, any audio, so this platform allow user to see what type of video they like. If you see YouTube, so YouTube are doing similar things, right? That is the things. If you like some things, you can see your library, all the saved videos, save audios, and save like audio. And then also I provide the timestamp, like like add when you like this image or like audio. And then yeah, and then this is the where you this is a like you model this entire schema. Okay, so it's a mongoose.model. So this is the method, and yeah, so inside the mongoose there is a method called model, and then you define user. Okay, this user here you can see singular, but in MongoDBs you can see it's gonna be plural. Okay, so every singular things you can see s, and then user schema, right? So yeah, you connect this schema with MongoDB with help of this line, and then we export default user. So you can use this schema into your any file. This is user schema, and we have another two schema, and second schema is audio schema. Okay, so first we have seen user document, user collection or user model, because inside MongoDB you can see uh, user model, right? Or you can call user collection. Similar things, we import mongoose. This is the library. This is the mongoose library, and then we name it audio schema, and then we instant new mongoose schema. Inside we provide two objects. First object where you set up all the data what you want to get from users, and second is a timestamp. This timestamp, right? And yeah, so what you can provide, first of all, we set up author. So who is the person put this video on our platform, right? So we have to make sure who is doing. That's why author. So author means, I think in any platform there are two things: users. Okay, so the platform is all about users. You can provide more uh, like more features or more a role if you if you make them. Maybe you are an admin, maybe you are a pro user, maybe you are a, but users is users. Okay, so yeah, we are working with all the users. So that's why author who create like yeah, who login, right? So yeah, so we are refer that user, and this is the mongoose types, mongoose schema types object ID, and then author is required, title also string required, and then description also type string required true, trim true, and then thumbnail URL type string required true, and what URL type string required true, right? And then tags. So user can provide, when they upload audio, they can provide multiple tags. That's why we have put array. So inside array we put our object string, trim true, and the lowercase true. Whatever you put, maybe a lowercase or maybe uppercase, but inside MongoDB we convert it lowercase, and then match, and then comments. User can comment any audio. So that is, and now we are going to create this comment schema, okay, or comment collection, and then similarly we put type. So we are link this schema with comment schema, right? So that is the thing. And also we put likes. So I think I see you put a lot of likes on a YouTube video, and make sure you can like my videos. So yeah, so this way we can track or show all the users. So we are linked with this likes field with users. So who put like, and actually now if you are some, like if you are new on this project or any project, so now you have a question: how any platform track track like. So here I refer the user document. Document means there is a ID. Okay, so we just track with ID, and then somehow we just increase the number. So maybe you are the guy. So right now, if you like my video, so you can like one time, not two, not many, because we are tracking you. So how we are tracking you? How YouTube tracking you? Because of your ID. Your ID, you can put one likes, one dislike, right? That is the things. So yeah, so that's why we are refer, we are link, we are refer user document, and then view count. So yeah, this way, yeah, view count, and then viewed by. So viewed by the user ID means like we have also refer user and then timestamp, which means this way we can track one user can increase one views, not many more. Right, so we have to track it. This way we can track, and then duration, type, number. Cloudinary also provide duration, but here I also separately track. Okay, so if you don't want to put, don't worry, because you can get from Cloudinary. Okay, but here I want to track. So and similarly, you have to link this schema with MongoDB. This is the code mongoose.model and audio. In MongoDB, you can see it's gonna be plural. Okay, and yeah, what is schema is a schema name, and then you export default. You default you export default audio. So this is the audio model, and now we are gonna work with a comment model, right? So we have just two things, three things, not many. We import mongoose, and then we name it like comment schema, and this is the mongoose library, and this is schema method, and then we create content. Okay, which means from front end you have to send some text, right? That's I call content. That is type string require true string. Maybe you put a lot of space, but here I can I can close things off together. So maybe whatever space or tab you put, uh, here I handle. This is the content and this is the author. Who put that comment on this audio? So I want to track. So how? I have to refer user document. So here I did this thing, and also one which audio you put a comment. Alright, because a lot of audio is out there, so you have to track who put on it, and yeah, who put on it, and one which audio a user put. So yeah, that's why we have to refer audio schema, right? And similarly, and we have to import. Sorry for that. Yeah. Now you can see this is the different things, but I want to I want to comments, yeah, and then yeah, and now again export default comment, yeah. Now so we have completed three schema: user schema, order schema, and comment schema. So our schema is complete. Now we are going to work uh, we are going to work in a config folder where you can set up the Cloudinary code. Okay, so this is the setup. We import v2 as a Cloudinary from Cloudinary, and then import .env because we are going to use env things inside, right? And then we provide cloudinary.config, and inside you can see Cloudinary name and process.env, then this name, API key secret, this name, and API secret and this name, right? So you already set up inside or put our all the things inside env file, right? This is the things, and then MongoDB. And yeah, so we import mongoose, we import .env, because also we are going to use the all the file from env file, right? Env variable. Then we call .env config, and then we name, we create a function like asynchronous function, because it takes time. So you have to make sure, because once you call it, you cannot get it instantly. Okay, so it takes time. That's why we put uh, asynchronous things, right? So when you use asynchronous, you have to use await, right? So there is a two word, asynchronous and await. If you use asynchronous, you have to put await. This is the name, connect db. Okay, and we are using try catch block. It's very clean code, because if your code is rejected or failed, then inside catch you can see the error, right? So it's very clean code. So this way I think people are like all the developer, pro developer, they are using this try block class. Okay, so first we put await, because we don't know, because we are going to call MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB at last. So this is the mongoose, and this is the connect method. As I told you, this mongoose library have bunch of method, like as I told you, a model, a schema, and now connect. And this with this connect method, we are going to call this API, this mongoose secret. Okay, mongoose. So yeah, we already put inside environment variable, and now we are accessing with help of environment variable this process.env.mongo. Okay, if the connection is right, then we are sending, or we are console, like yeah, we are yeah, so we want to show this console log connect to MongoDB. Okay, but if the connection is failed, then inside catch block we can see the error. So you can see console log error and MongoDB connection error, and whatever error that we can get inside, so we can show, right? And it's very useful. Process.exit1. 1 means it's a failure, and 0 means it's a success. And it's very important, because you know what? If you don't put here, if your code is rejected, MongoDB can run. But if you put this process.exist, if your code is not exist, or maybe your backend, your connection is failed, MongoDB cannot run. So MongoDB can show an error. That is the code is all about. So I think you understand these MongoDBs. Okay, and now, so we are using Malta. So this is the third config file is Malta storage. Okay, but I'm gonna use a ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can explain to you very well, and you can understand very well. So let me zoom in. Okay, all right. So this, it's a module import. You can see there are three imports. No, oh my god, man, I think, yeah. So this is like a Malta. Okay, and Malta is a middleware for handling multiple files, because here you can send image, video, or text, whatever it is, right? So that's why you have to use Malta from data, and Malta can handle it. Okay, and then path. This is the Node.js core module from handling file and directory path, and this is the file URL path, which convert ES module URL to file path, and it's a file system module to interact with directories or files. This is the built-in file system, and then it's emulating dar names in ES model, because in ES model there is no this type of things, so we have to build it. So this is things. So dar name is not available in ES model. This snippet recreates dar name equivalently, and taking a name is module path resolution for ES module. So yeah, and then this block of code ensure temp path like exist. So ensure the upload destination folder exists, and create this folder if it doesn't exist, right? This public, right? and this is called directory safety check and dynamic folder creation. So this is like this is the Malta code, okay, Malta boilerplate code, okay, and file name sanitization utility. So I'm just replacing if something is bad providing, so I can handle here. Replace any character, not A to Z, 0 to 9 with a underscore. If beyond this category, then replace. Prevent invalid file names or injection. And this is a input sanitization utility function, right? And then this is the main things. Malta disk storage engine configuration. So we put a name storage and then Malta disk storage. Inside this, we are providing this destination. Okay, request file callback function, and then you provide call, null, and temp path. So yeah, this storage is a configuring, and it's a destination where to store upload files. File name, how to name them, and then file includes sanitize original name, current timestamp, original file extension, right? So you can see it's a original name, and then yeah. So I think you understand it, right? Yeah, this is the entire code, and then we export it as a default. And now we have worked with Cloudinary, MongoDB, Malta. And now we are going to work with a helper function because we are going to use Cloudinary. So like this upload Cloudinary and this delete Cloudinary, a helper function, right? So I'm also going to use. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Understand better. So this is the same, and yeah, you can see it's same things, but here I use it takes two things, two parameter. One is file length, full path to the local file, okay, and option. The ternary specify option like folder name, public ID, resource type. Now I'm just default as empty object, and this is a file extension check, right? Get the file extension, like yeah, and convert it to lowercase. Prepare for resource type decision, and then it's a dynamic resource type assignment, right? This block check if the file is an audio file. If yes, set these things. Cloudinary treats audio as a video resource, and then if not, treat as an image, right? And then upload. So yeah, pass file path, local path to file, and then option. Cloudinary config folder tags transformation, and then return Cloudinary result object, right? URL, public ID, and secure URL, and then handling error, right? And finally, we are throwing here we also rethrow the error to propagate it to calling function, and then also finally this block ensure the local temp file is deleted no matter what, like if my file is success or not. So in the local file the file will be deleted. So that is the thing. Yeah. So similarly, it's a upload Cloudinary, right? So all the things is same, but you can see here only things. It's a upload, and if you go to delete, you can see destroy, right? The similar things, nothing fancy, right? Nothing fancy, and you can get help with ChatGPT or any AI tools because it's a Cloudinary snippet code or in a boilerplate. Yeah, nothing else. So we already work with config 3 file, and inside helper we work with two things, okay? And now we are going to use middleware. We are work with middleware, okay? But before working with middlewares, we have to create controller. But now I'm just setting up the project, so I can explain to you this uh, middlewares. So if you hear first time middlewares is a concept where it's checking you have that authority or not. Okay, so if you have, then middleware pass to you, hey, you can go to the next things. Okay, so before you can do the tasks, I want to make sure if you have that authority or not. If you don't have that, middleware says, hey man, you don't have that authority, so I'm not gonna let you to go in. Okay, so that is the thing. And we are import JW token, JW web token, and we put name JWT. And this is the file we are passing. It's a function. Okay, inside we provide three parameter: request, response, next, and then we are using try block, catch, and then we are extracting token from where? Cookies. So you already, when we are going to create very soon the authentic login controller and sign up controller. So in both we can handle, we can send our token inside cookies. Now we are extracting the cookies. Okay, yeah, so it's a token, and this token name we put from from login or maybe sign up controller. And then we are checking is that if token is not exist, we have to send this message, and the code is 401, which is the status code. That means authentication failed. So it's a long message. Authentication failed, token not provided, please log in to access this resource. So if the token is exist, it's not gonna work. We can exit this block and then we can work this code. Okay, so JWT, it's a import object like you can see here, and then verify, it's a method inside this JSON object, JSON web token. It's a method, right? And we are sending three parameters. One, it's a token is string parameter. Second is a secret key parameter. Third is a callback function parameter. Okay, so this is the name token, right? And this name we are providing from, yeah, this name is this name. Okay, so we are verify whatever we send from a login, is it equal to right now what you are extracting? So if yes, then the code will be run. And second parameter is a process dot jw secret, whatever you create, right? And then it's a callback function where we sending, because we are using these things. If you are using maybe AW or maybe like asynchronous functions, so we don't need to use these things. But yeah, it's very easy, so we are using here. So it's an error, and so inside this callback function we are sending two parameters. One is error parameter and second is the result payload. So if the code and this callback function run after the process complete. If the process is complete, then if the process fail, then I can show this error. Or if the process is successfully, if process is successfully complete, then I can assign this payload inside this request dot user. Okay, so after that I can call next next like middlewares. Okay, if I want to put other middleware, so after this middleware, it gonna check the second middleware. So that's why we are putting next. And so if the process is fail, then I send a message token verification failed, and then status code 404. It's a forbidden status code, meaning invalid or expired token. And then this is the catch block, console log error, what middleware error, right? And it's internal server error. internal server error, right? And the status code 500, right? So this is the middleware, is logging middleware. So I want to make sure you can't do anything if you don't have a login, authorization. So you can see a lot of platform. Okay, so you can see their videos, but you cannot, like or maybe comment or maybe subscribe. I think so. That is the thing. So you can allow any users to watch your video or watch your content, but you are not yeah, you would not allow anybody to put their comment or like. So if they want to do, you want to make sure you are you are a login user. So this way you can do a lot of things, right? And we already work with config file, helper folder, and now middleware. What else? Now we are going to work with app.js. So we have two, like, I create separate two files, app.js and index.js. But if you want to, you can handle both things inside index.js. If you work with any big project, so this file structure you can see, because the project is gonna be larger and larger as we go in future. So, but yeah, so I'll show you the best practices. If you want to, you can put entire code inside here. Okay, so first here I can manage routes, middlewares, right? So here I import express, it's a library, and then cookie parser. As I told you, we are sending cookie, and yeah, and then course means how we can talk with front end. So there is a role of course origin, right? And yeah, it's a middleware we are using use and then course. So maybe whatever the front end URL you want to talk with, you want to work with, so you have to put here. So let's say I'm gonna work with this URL, this localhost from front end. So you have to put, and credential you have to make it true, and then expert.json, and then cookie parser. And here I can handle all the routes, like endpoint, the base endpoint, and also I can import from controller. Right now I don't have, so I just keep it as it is. And then index.js. So here is my entry point. If you deploy your code into any server, so they're gonna understand these things. First, this file will be file will be run, and yeah, first I import .env because I want to work with the environment variable file. Okay, and then timedb. So I import this from config MongoDB because I have to connect MongoDB. I have to call MongoDB, and then import app.js. All the code from app.js. First, I make sure .env.config, and you have to make sure this code, this line of code, you have to put on the top. Before every code, this code should be run, and then after that I called MongoDB. So connect DB and I call it, right, and then start the server. So cons port 5004, and then app.listen. It's a built-in method listen, and then port this port, and then run console log server is running, and port is like that. So let's check. Yes, so now our server is running. Server is running on port 500, and connected to MongoDB. Right. So how cool it is? So we set up our backend, our basic things, right? So we already set up, and in next video we are going to create all the controller. So make sure subscribe my channel and lock in on this series. Thank you so much.